Today, we're breaking down Baltimore's tough 27-20 loss to the Kansas City Chiefs in Week 1 of the 2024 NFL season. While there's plenty of analysis to dive into, one major point of contention after the game was the officiating. Coach John Harbaugh and offensive tackle Ronnie Stanley didn't hold back when it came to calling out the refs, and we're here to unpack what happened and how it impacted the game. The Ravens were hit with 5 illegal formation penalties, and 3 of those were on Ronnie Stanley. After the game, Stanley didn't mince words. According to The Athletic's Jeff Zrebiec, Stanley felt like the referees were making an example out of him. He pointed out that the calls were not consistent with what they were told during training camp and questioned why the Chiefs weren't being flagged for similar setups. Coach John Harbaugh also voiced his frustrations. He challenged the refs to maintain the same standard throughout the entire season, not just in this game. Harbaugh's post-game comments echoed what we saw during the match. He was caught on camera saying that the penalties weren't being called both ways. It's clear that both Stanley and Harbaugh are calling for more accountability from the refs. What makes this even more frustrating is the fact that this renewed emphasis on offensive lineman positioning was supposed to be enforced across the board. The rule focuses on tackles not setting up further back than the center's backside, giving them an advantage in pass protection. Yet, it seemed like only the Ravens were being penalized for it, which is something Stanley and Harbaugh weren't happy about. The Ravens were penalized 7 times for 65 yards, compared to the Chiefs' 6 for 45 yards. While the yardage difference wasn't massive, those early penalties set the tone for the rest of the game. Despite the flags, the Ravens still managed to score on that opening drive, but it's clear that these calls played a role in disrupting their rhythm. Were the refs too hard on the Ravens, or do you think this was just a tough break? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.